There was once a nobleman who longed to have a son to raise up to bear his name and look after his estates. But he and his wife had no children, and then at last she gave birth, but to a daughter. What use was a girl to a man like that? He would have nothing to do with her, had nursemaids to raise her up, and they had to keep her out of his way, and she was to grow up and marry the first man that came along. Well, the first man who asked for her hand in marriage when she got to about 15 or 16, why, he was old. He was skinny. His eyes squinted, and she didn't wish to marry a man like that. She couldn't think what to do. She took herself off to the wise woman. "Ah, my dear, ask for a gown of silver." So she went back, and a gown, a dress, with fine silver thread, was made, and it fitted her, and she looked pretty in it. But she still wasn't going to marry a man like that. Again she went to the wise woman. "Ask for a gown of gold." And a fine dress with golden thread weaved in it was made. It suited her so well. But she was not going to marry a man like that. Again she went to the wise woman. Let's test his wits, his brain, as well as his purse. Ask for a gown of feathers. Not just any old feathers, hen's feathers, peacock's feathers, but feathers from all the birds of the air. And so that's what she did, and the man must have had something going for him, for he put food on the ground, and as each of the birds came down, they left a feather, till there was a great mound of feathers, all the colours of the rainbow and many more besides. And from that a fine dress was made. It shone in the sunlight, but she still didn't wish to marry a man like that. Now, I might have given up at that time, so might you. But no, she went again to the wise woman. "Ah," said the wise woman, "ask for a gown of catskin." Now, you and I might not think this is very sensible or very kind, but in olden days catskin was used. It's a very light fur, very nice to wear, very soft. But of course it takes many animals to make one such as that, and therefore is very expensive. So she went back and asked for a gown of catskin. And a great dress, a cloak-like dress, was made. It was so soft and light and warm. She didn't want to take it off. But she wasn't going to marry a man like that. All she could think to do was to leave home, take all her favourite possessions, including these beautiful dresses, with her, and leave. And that's what she did. And she walked for many a mile, and many a day, and many a week, till she was in a land where she wasn't known. And there was a great house, and she went and hid all that she had in a cave, apart from her catskin gown, because it was so soft and warm that she kept it on. Now, she was a nobleman's daughter. She wasn't trained up for any work, but she went and knocked on the door and asked if they would at least have her as a kitchen maid, the lowliest sort of work, and it was agreed. And she went and worked there, and she wouldn't say her real name, so everybody called her Catskin. Now, the young man of that place, the young lord, he'd been on a journey and was coming home, and his parents were going to hold a ball. Everyone was to go to that ball. Everyone except Catskin. When she asked if she could go, the cook threw a basin of water over her. But when everyone had gone, Catskin crept out, went to the cave, got her silver dress, and put it on. And she went to the ball. And oh, she was the most beautiful thing there, and the young lord, he danced with her all night. He asked where she came from, because he'd never seen her before. Oh, the size of the basin, she said, thinking of the basin of water that had been thrown over her. But before the end of the ball, she left, went back to the cave, took off her pretty dress, and put on her catskin gown, and was back in the kitchen before anyone returned. Well, the next day, that young man, he looked everywhere for her. No one could remember seeing her before. No one had heard of the sign of the basin. He persuaded his parents to hold another ball. As before, everyone was to go, everyone except Catskin. This time when she asked, the cook picked up a ladle and hit her on the shoulder with it, and it broke. Again, when everyone had gone, Catskin went to the cave, and this time she put on her gown of gold and went to the ball. Oh, the young lord was so pleased to see her, and he danced with her and danced with her, and said, I looked everywhere for you. I couldn't find you. You don't really live at the sign of the basin. Where do you live? The sign of the broken ladle, she said, thinking of what the cook had done. Well, as before, she left before the end and was back in the kitchen before anyone came back, and again the young lord looked for her and couldn't find her. He moped around the place as only a young man can mope around the place. Parents wouldn't hold another ball. But, well, eventually they did. We really can't have young men behaving like that. For the sake of peace and quiet, then they held another ball. Well, you can imagine what happened. And this time, of course, it was that beautiful gown of feathers that Catskin wore. And oh, it shone like jewels in the candlelight. And the young man, well, he'd got his senses back. And this time, when she left, he followed her, saw her go back to the cave, change into her catskin gown, and go back to the kitchens in his very own house. Could she really be a kitchen maid there? The following day, he crept down the stairs to see, and yes, there she was. He went running to his parents, saying, I found her, and now I can marry her. She's a kitchen maid in our own kitchens. You can't marry her, said his parents. You, a young lord, marry a kitchen wench. He stopped eating. He stopped drinking. He took to his bed, very sick. All the doctors were sent for. No one could cure him. And then someone said, that girl, what was she called? Catskin. Get her to make a dish. Perhaps, well, then he'll eat it. And so it was done. She now learnt to cook, and she made him the best dish she could find and took it up to him, and he ate a little. And on the next day, a little more, and a little more, till he was well again, and his parents relented, and they were married. Now that might have been the end of the story, but, well, they had a young son. And one day, when the boy was about 4 and was playing in the courtyard with a beggar's child, the old cook, the nasty old cook, she saw them and said, well, I can see why those two play together, 2 beggars' children. And now Catskin knew that she must say who she was in truth. At first her husband couldn't believe that a father could treat his daughter like that, but she said it was true. Right, we must go and visit him, said the young lord. And Catskin didn't want to go. But he persuaded her, and they got a coach and rode back to where she'd been a child. And she wouldn't come in. But the young man went in and said to the nobleman, Are you the father of a kind girl who left here about 5 years ago? Oh, yes, I didn't realize what a wonderful girl she was till she was dead, and my poor wife has died of grief. But I did so want a son. A son like me? Yes, a son like you. Come with me. And the young man took the old man out to the carriage and said, Here is your daughter again. Here is a young grandson who can be raised up for your estates, and I will be as a son to you. And so they've lived happily, we hope.